All right. Well, good morning, guys. It's been a minute since I've just sat down and did a video, so I figured I would do one this morning. I think it's Wednesday morning. I don't know, 6 a.m. or so. Sun's up. I'm gonna be going outside doing some work today. It's gonna be another hot day, but I gotta keep on keeping on. So, but I'll take some time this morning. I slept really good last night. I took some of my cannabis oil. I ate some of that last night, quite a bit of it last night. And man, I slept. I slept from about 9 o'clock last night till about 5 a.m. So, doing my coffee and my cannabis thing for the morning. Got my puppy dogs, a couple of them in with me, so might get disrupted every now and then. I got one chewing on a bone right now, so pardon for any. I apologize for any background noise. Throat's still very dry. It's still very, very hot and dry out here in Colorado where I am. Got another wildfire burning a little bit from me, and just the smoke is in the air. It's not very thick, but it's been weeks of just, I think, pretty low air quality. And you hear it in my voice. I'm not usually this scratchy and rough, but lately I have been. So bear with me here. But I just didn't know what I was going to talk about. I've been thinking about it. I haven't really come up with any good ideas yet. Coffee. Excuse me. I said very dry out here. Very, very dry out here. But, so anyway, I just figured I'd come on here and talk, and we'd smoke some weed together. In case you haven't figured it out by now, pot's a big part of my life. Always has been, since I was a kid. I mean, really, pot's what started me down the whole rabbit hole, conspiracy theory, truth kind of a thing. But I was young. I'm in my late 40s now. I was 13, 14 years old when I found out what weed was. Heard of it, had never really seen it. I started smoking at about 14, and I loved it, man. I just right away I thought, boy, this stuff's pretty cool. It's fun. I enjoy it. And right away I discovered that it wasn't bad for you. This is 30 plus years ago, 35 years ago. Back then, the government still was trying to convince everybody it was the devil's lettuce and it was horrible for you. And everybody still believed it. It's amazing. Everybody still believed it. My family still believed it. A lot of the peers, a lot of your employers, they still ran with it. I don't even know if they believed it anymore. They were too afraid of the consequences. Fear is a big deal, especially in America. Fear mongering. Be afraid of this, be afraid of that. Don't do this, don't do that. You shouldn't trust that. You should trust this. Trust the experts, trust science, but don't trust nature. It's amazing. So yeah, I was early. I was 14 years old, and I discovered, wow, this marijuana stuff isn't that bad. I don't know why everybody's throwing people in prison for it. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I just embraced it, man, at a young age, and started trying to grow it at a young age, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Growing an illegal plant out in the middle of the fucking woods is not exactly an easy thing to do. People would find them, people would kill the plants. The deer and wildlife would eat the plants. So, I tried growing for years in a row, but sinuses are dry. But I tried growing for many, many years, unsuccessfully. But I had fun. It was still the idea of going out into the woods, and being kind of incognito and going out in the middle of the night under moonlight to take care of the plants. It was fun. As a kid, that was fun to me. It was exciting. It was part of an adrenaline rush that had to do with being out there and being part of this very, very illegal plant. And I just got to love the plant. And of course, as I grew up, time went by where I couldn't get outside and I couldn't really grow it. So there were a few years I didn't. And then I got into my 30s, and I just started growing it. I was living down in North Carolina for a while, trying to find any decent weed down there back in the day, back in the early 2000s. At this time, it was impossible. It was all that brown Mexican swag, garbage weed, or people were growing some hydroponic bullshit. But I don't like hydro, but the chemical fertilizers. But so I just started growing my own weed because I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna go spend my money on this goddamn brown shit that everybody's selling down here. At least growing up in New York, we had some good weed. People were growing some good weed. But so in my 30s, I just started growing it and growing it every year and more successfully each year, to the point where I didn't have to buy it. So probably for the last 15 years of my life, couple exceptional years, I've been growing it, and I haven't had to spend my money on it. And moved out to Colorado a while ago, and just got busy again in life, and started having to buy it again because I was living in a small apartment, couldn't really grow my own there. It was difficult. Indoor grows are challenging and expensive. And I never really had the time. But I was working in the legal industry, so I could buy it, get a pretty good discount. But then I fell out of love with the legal weed. It was, I wasn't getting my satisfaction from the legal pot. I was getting super, super high from it really quick, smoking it. But, half hour later, I was like smoking more weed. I wasn't maintaining my buzz. It wasn't doing for me what I wanted. So I got back to growing my own, and that's one of the reasons I live off grid now, out where I do in southern Colorado, was because during COVID a number of years ago, I decided I need to be able to grow my own weed, uninterrupted, unbothered. I don't need to be dealing with neighbors bothering me about what I'm doing, or somebody ratting on me, calling the cops because they don't like the smell, and government, up your asshole all the time. And certain counties have certain laws where you can't grow it outdoors. It has to be indoors. And I'm like, fuck all this. So I moved to a place where, well, really, they don't give a shit. You're in the middle of nowhere. It's a small town. They do whatever the fuck you want to do. I'm outside of any municipality or town or any zoning like that. So I can pretty much, as long as I'm within my legal plant count, I can grow, and I grow unlimited however I want. That's why I'm here. I mean, marijuana has driven me through a lot of my life. And I question that sometimes. I wonder if is that a good thing? Is it a good thing, Kane, to be so connected and tied to something like cannabis, throughout all of your adult life? Isn't that an addiction? Isn't that like alcohol or tobacco? Is that the same thing, just a vice, a crutch, or a band-aid to try to cover things up and mask what's wrong? And I it's something I deal with a lot in my life. Is like, maybe I should just give up weed. Maybe I'd be a happier man if I didn't smoke weed. And then I'm like, no, fuck that, Kate. You're happy smoking weed. I wasn't happy doing a lot of other things. I wasn't happy smoking cigarettes. I wasn't happy drinking booze. I never really got into other drugs. I mean, mushrooms here and there. I still enjoy some mushrooms every now and then, but I don't do them often. I just smoke my weed. And but to me, it's a very spiritual thing. It's, again, why pot? Why did they criminalize marijuana so goddamn bad? It was the most commonly used drug on the market, so they could throw more people in prison for it than anything else. Plus, I think it's beneficial. I think it's got a lot of benefits that are to this day still, not understood. Science is still just trying to barely crack the code on it and figure it out. But I think it's a spiritual thing. I think it's a beneficial plant. I love growing it. I think it's an incredible plant to grow. I love the smell. Some people don't like the smell of it. I get that. I love the smell of marijuana. And it's a unique plant. It's very unique in many different properties and ways. The way it responds to daylight. There's just certain things about the plant that separate it from just about any other crop on earth that we grow. Very, very unique plant. Plus the properties, what it does for you. again, very misunderstood. But again, that started my rabbit hole journey and wanting to know the truth. Because at a young age, I was like, okay, so we're all being lied to about pot now. And most people just run around with it. Oh, it's pot's illegal because it is, so just don't do it. Well, that's because you're afraid. You're fear. You're afraid of going to jail for doing it. Um, so at a young age, I just started questioning everything I was being taught in school, everything I was being told by everybody. I was like, what do you really fucking know? You're just afraid. You're just a coward. You don't know the truth. You're just afraid, and you're not allowed to know the truth. Um, so I grew up, got busy, life in my 20s, chasing everybody else's dream of what I had to do for a career in this country. Um, and lost track of what was important to me. And my 30s started getting more spiritual again. Started trying to find God and spirituality in this world, and understand what the fuck I'm even doing here. Why does everything seem so backwards, and why does everything seem so fucked up, and why do good people seem to struggle so much in this world while the real assholes in the world seem to do just fine. They seem to get their jobs, promotions, and it seems like if you're a real big asshole, your life's going to be just fine. The more you shit on people, the better off you'll do. But if you try to be a decent, humble person and mind your own business, everybody else shits on you. It's just weird. It's like ass backwards place. So I've always questioned things, questioned everything. Why? Um, and living off grid, alone, isolated on my own, has provided me a lot of time to think. I'm not a person to meditate much. I can't get myself to sit down and clear my thoughts at all for anything. But it provides me a lot of time alone to think and be with my thoughts. And that's part of meditation is just being silent and processing your thoughts, allowing yourself to just deal with whatever it is going on in your mind, because you can't turn it off until you hash through it, right? Process it and deal with it. And a lot of that requires bringing up memories and regrets and things from the past, and what if this, and in hindsight that, and I start questioning life in general. I start questioning what I'm doing with mine, why I'm doing it, and questioning everything. I come from a loving family, but an American family, a typical American family. You know, and I think a lot of us, I think I'm speaking to my generation, kind of the middle age group of people today, um, more than anybody. But there's just everything's fucked up in this world. Everybody's chasing the wrong fucking dreams, and we're prioritizing the wrong things. And I look around today, and nobody has any real skills anymore. I mean, nobody has any valuable fucking skills. Every now and then an old guy will know how to weld. But nobody knows how to do anything anymore. And I'm trying to come out here and do this off-grid thing, and it occurs to me more and more every day that nobody knows how to fucking do this. None of us know how to live off the land. None of us in America who call ourselves free and independent have any idea how to be free and independent. We don't know. We're absolutely dependent on the system. And I've come to that conclusion at this point in my life. We call ourselves free, call ourselves independent. We would die tomorrow. The hundreds of millions of Americans would be dead in a couple of weeks. If they turn the power off and stop shipping us food, we'd be dead. We'd all be dead. I have no doubt about that. Because we don't know how to live off the land. We don't know how to be self-sufficient anymore. And part of the struggle doing this off-grid thing, and other off-gridders will probably tell you the same, it's incredibly difficult. The struggle, you're having to learn how to do something that should be ages old, generations old, taught to us as kids, second nature to us. And we're having to relearn these things, and we're not getting a lot of help. There's not a lot of guidance and information out there, and the government doesn't teach you, the public school doesn't teach you. Why are we having to relearn how to do all the things that humans ought to just grow up knowing how to do in case times get tough? So we're a very dependent society, and we've been made that way. The government, the CIA, corporate America, they've spent the last, 75 years in America with propaganda and indoctrination through school, telling us this is the way you ought to live your life. And from my parents, the boomer generation down, everybody's just kind of followed that path. And it worked. It worked for them. It worked for some people. It helped build our system and society to where it is today. And well, look around today. It's all collapsing because it's all built on bullshit. It's all built on lies and bullshit. So, it's frustrating because it's not our family's fault. It's not any of our faults that things are this way. It's the government that made it this way, through their policies, their rules, their laws, their regulations, what they've been telling people: chase this dream, do that. And I grow up and I realize, okay, I'm looking around me now, and all these adults who have been telling me what to do all my life, at the end of the day, if you turn their electricity off, they wouldn't know what the fuck to do with their own lives. So, what's wrong here, right? So appreciate your knowledge and advice, but do you really have any idea what the hell you're doing in life? No, you're just going with the flow. You're just doing as you were told, and it's working out because, well, there's a plan there. It's not yours, but there's a plan. But anyway, rambling. I ramble, guys. But I'm gonna do some dabs. Hold on a second. I can't breathe. The smoke's been pretty bad the last couple days here. But anyway, so I want to know the truth. I'm in my 30s. I was in my 30s. I began really wanting to know the truth. I was in the legal marijuana industry, and I realized that nobody knew anything about marijuana, not even in the legal industry. Things we were doing back then were wrong. We shouldn't have been doing, but it was what we thought we were supposed to be doing. So, but we don't know anything. We don't know anything because we've been lied to and misled. That's where I'm going with this. So, as I get older, I try to uncover the lies. I try to realize what's going on in this world, the deception. And then I realize it's all bullshit. We've all been lied to all of our lives. Our parents have been lied to. And to this day, we're being lied to. I'm going to do some dabs. If you don't know what dabs are, I grow pot. I have a few videos of my cannabis garden out there. I might do another shot of my homestead in my garden tonight or tomorrow. Update y'all with progress. Every day is different. But if you don't know what dabs are, I make my own cannabis oil. And you can eat this. It's fully activated. You can smoke it. You can eat it. You can put it on your bud, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. You'll get high. Or you'll get the effects, the benefits from it, I should say. But anyway, to do a dab, I'm going to demonstrate this. I took a bong hit in my other video. I'm going to do a dab on this one with my cannabis oil. This is my morning routine. Well, normally I'm out by now, but figured I'd share this with you. So get a little torch going here. I'll try to do this in my camera. So get a little torch. You got to have a torch because you got to have heat. It's got to be hot, hotter than just a regular flame. That's a regular lighter flame. This is blue if you can see it. That's a much hotter flame. Excuse me. So anyway, this is a dab straw. They come in various shapes and sizes, made out of different materials, just titanium and glass. Kind of a fancy big tool. I don't clean my shit enough. I smoke a ton, so I'm cleaning my stuff all the time, so it always looks dirty. But if you smoke a lot, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is how you dab cannabis oil. I'll probably eat some again when I go to bed tonight, but help me get some rest. A little bit cooler this morning too. It was cool last night. The wind was blowing, so I got some refreshing air last night in the windows. But anyway, you just got to heat this up. I'll turn this up a little more. You get that straw, the tip, they call it a straw, and it's a straw basically. You get the tip heated up nice. You can get glass tips or titanium, metal tip. I use titanium. I don't know. I tend to crack the glass, break it too easily. So But anyway, you heat that up nice and hot till it's, almost red hot at the tip. Certain temperatures are preferred. I can't tell what temperature is. I just heat it up and go to town. The hotter it is, the more likely you are to cough from hitting it. But if it's not hot enough, you won't get a good hit. So you got to find half medium. So there, that's plenty good. You stick that hot end of that straw onto the oil and inhale. This is what you're going to do. That's how you dab cannabis oil. And this is like, one of these is like taking 10 rips off a bong. I mean, instant, like, shoot, my eyes are gonna, it's instant relaxation. My mind wanders and races a lot. This helps settle it, which could be detrimental unless you're a real busy guy. Then you need to focus on things. And by settling my brain, I'm able to put more thought into things, more tunnel vision, and come up with a plan and execute it. Which, my new garden video I'll do will show you what I've been doing. I've been busy. I've been really busy outside, which is why I haven't done another video lately. So, ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ooh, that one hit me. I got deep. They say cough to get off. That's no joke, guys. My eyes are like, whoa, sucky $5. Chinese eyes. No, that's wrong. I shouldn't say that. It's offensive to some people. Sorry, I didn't mean that. That was just old 80s joke. Anyway. Anyway. Sorry about that, guys. So, yeah, that's how you dab cannabis oil. And it's my own homemade stuff, which I'm going to have to make more soon. Because I'm eating the shit out of this. But when I make more oil, I'll try to do that on video too. I'll go through the process on how to make cannabis extract. At least the way I do it. Rick Simpson oil. If you don't know who Rick Simpson is, he's just an interesting dude. He's got a story to tell. He kind of pioneered the medical use of cannabis oil in the world, and he's not given any credit for any of it, really. A lot of people in the industry are never going to receive credit for what they do. But thank the growers, guys. Young kids out there, you young folks, you 18, 20s, and even you boomers, even you older 70, 80-year-olds out there. All you out there right now smoking this shit, all you out there enjoying it, all you who all your life avoided it, and for all you young little kids out there smoking it now, I want you to appreciate the growers. Appreciate the people who have risked their whole lives for the last 40 fucking years growing this shit. Appreciate them. Okay? Appreciate the growers. They're the ones behind the scenes. They're the unsung heroes. The government has done everything for the last 50 years to eradicate cannabis from the earth. Get rid of it. They couldn't. They couldn't. No matter what the government tried to do, they couldn't keep us away from cannabis. And why? Because so many people like myself and others out there, growers, regardless of the law, kept growing it, kept strains alive, kept improving it over years. So to all you out there going and buying it and enjoying it recreationally now with no worries, comfortably at home, show some appreciation to the people whose lives were ruined over it, who had prison records over it. Myself, who I had to run from the law. I had to run from the law in North Carolina to come here to Colorado and do this. Growers face the biggest penalties of all. They really do. A grower will spend more time in prison, or at least would have, than the drug dealer. And nobody ever knew who the growers were. So, be appreciative. To all of you out there, be appreciative to the guys who have been growing it throughout the years, regardless of the risks and the legalities. These people were passionate enough to know that this plan is good and I'm going to keep doing it, and fuck you, government, if you don't like it. Come find me, come and get me. And, shout out to the growers out there, because they risked a lot. They risked their careers, their lives, keeping this plant alive. And now here we are, and I think the majority of you out there can all agree, it's really not that bad of a thing. Just use it responsibly, like everything else. So guys, I'm out here doing this because I don't trust the world. I think the world's retarded. I don't think they know what the fuck they're talking about, because we've all been lied to about everything, myself included. Soon we're gonna go down some real life shit. I'm gonna talk about life. I'm gonna get into life. I'll do that a little bit right now. I'm finishing this coffee, which is getting kind of lukewarm, which sucks, but I'm gonna be going outside after anyway. Life in America, because I don't know anywhere else or anything else. The American family has gone to shit. The nuclear family in America is shit today. That's been happening. That's part of the lies too. The government and media, corporate media, and the television in the 40s and 50s, blasting everybody with TV of the iconic American life. Go, live in a community with a house with a picket fence and 2 cats and 2 dogs and a family, and painted this picture of the American dream, and everybody started chasing it, and so it separated the American family over generations. People ended up having to leave their towns and communities to go chase their dream job, working for this corporation who offered to pay them a little bit more if you left your entire fucking family behind. Here's the deal, guys. Come move to the big city and we'll pay you a better salary, but you have to leave your community and family and friends behind to come here and do this, and your cost of living is going to go up, so that's why we have to pay you more, just so you can afford to live here and do this. So the American dream was painted. Everybody went and chased it. What happens when you chase the American dream instead of embracing it in your community with your family and friends that you grow up with and love? You're chasing a dream. You're leaving home. It's a wild goose chase, right? It splits the family up. It takes what would have traditionally been a very close family, all generations growing up together, all at the same house, having dinners together and being together, and holidays together, and nobody had to travel a country mile to go visit each other. If somebody became ill, you were close by to help. Not anymore. Look around. Families are scattered like cockroaches. And that's the problem with families today. And so in my previous video, when I beat up my family a little bit, it wasn't that I don't love them. It wasn't that they don't love me. I grew up in a loving family. I think a lot of Americans did. Some not. So I shit on my family a lot, but not direct. I shouldn't really shit on my family. I should shit on society. Because, when I say in my previous videos, a lot of us grew up without the support we need, with a lack of support, financial support. Like, a lot of us grew up, we had what we had, we were comfortable, but it was chasing a dream. It was chasing a false dream. And growing up as kids, our desires were shaped by the entertainment, media, and propaganda around us too. So it was all bullshit. We were all raised chasing the wrong fucking things all of our lives, chasing fucking geese. And I blame my family, as many others probably do, because, well, that's close to home. It's all we really know. But it's not my family. It's none of them personally. They were all doing what they also believed to be true, which is chasing geese. Um, and it turned out well for some of them, although I question if they're all happy. I don't know that they're all really happy in life. I suspect many of them are absolutely miserable with some things in their lives. Um, but hey, it worked. It worked. Financially, people get by. Good. Living off grid like this, I've discovered a lot about the Amish community here, right? Because as an American, I only know the American life. As many of you probably grew up in broken families, families that were divorced, parents separated, parents maybe never married. My son is a child who was born out of wedlock, my only child. He's an older man now, but you know, he was a typical American kid born in America in a broken family who, by the time he was growing up, his parents were already separated and hundreds of miles away from each other. It's just the American way today. It's not uncommon to be grown up and raised in a broken family at some point. And my family, parents divorced when I was a teenager. It affects you as a child. When your parents, when your family breaks apart, it affects you as a child. I don't care what anybody says, it affects you as a child. And in ways you probably don't even understand as an adult. So that happens. And I grew up with friends who were also in broken families. And not saying it's a bad thing for everyone, but it affects you subconsciously as a child. And that affects you growing up. Promiscuity, lack of trust. If you're seeing your own parents and families fucking separate, divorce, well, you tend to look at things, I think, with a little more skepticism. Why would I get involved with something that might fall to shit in a few years, right? Living out here in Colorado, I'm surrounded by a big Amish community. And these Amish people are fantastic people once you get to know them. They live a very traditional nuclear family. To this day, they grow up together. They grow up with the grandkids in the house with the family and the kids and the mom and dad, and the grandparents are either in home or nearby, not but a couple blocks down the road. They're very family oriented still, as I think families used to be. Growing up in the 80s, early 90s as a young kid, born in the 70s, growing up in the 80s, families, the typical American family, they were all still very close. They all still lived fairly close by in the same communities. They worked more locally. They weren't chasing that dream so much. It was there in their hometowns. It was available there if they wanted it. But we were overwhelmed with this idea of go do this, go check that out, look at that, look at what you could do there. Temptation. So the American family split. The Amish have avoided that. They've avoided that temptation. They've avoided the propaganda. They haven't scattered. Their families don't break apart. They still have very strong family structure, family values. And I see it every day. I see it in their livelihoods. I see it in their attitudes. They're much happier people. They're much more calm. They don't get stressed out. They allow themselves as a community to have weekends off together, evenings off together. They work during the day. They're free evenings and weekends to spend time together in the community with their families. And they do. They do. Sundays is church day. At somebody's home, they go and celebrate church. Saturdays are days of relaxation, getting errands done if you need to. But it's together as a community. We don't do that in America. It's, we have mom who might work evenings and weekends, dad who might have a day job during the week. So mom and dad are never home together. Right? Who's raising the kid after school, right? Probably nobody. Or a stranger who might be abusing them, because that happens a lot. So, again, we have families today, parents working odd schedules, they're never home together, they probably end up having affairs at work with other people because they're actually with their coworkers more than they're with their actual spouses now. I mean, this is happening. The American way of life is promoting unhealthy behavior, I think. And the Amish have proven to me that they can still be done the right way if you just hold tight to family values. Are they perfect? No. In America, you get hurt, you break your fucking leg. Guess what? If you don't have medical insurance, you're fucked, right? You're fucked. You're probably gonna lose your job. You're gonna be walking around in a cast, unemployed. $20,000 in medical bills, which is criminally insane, that you can't afford to pay. Your life's gonna be fucked over an injury or an illness. You know what I mean? A lot of people, a lot of our veterans today are fucked because of an illness or an injury, and they can't afford treatment. So in America, if you have some trouble, things are down and out, and you have some bad luck, well, fuck you, shit on you. Good luck getting yourself up by your bootstraps, buddy. Dog eat dog, man. Unless you're lucky and you have family who can at least throw you some financial help, you're fucked. You're fucked. Fuck you, American. Good luck. And that's the attitude pretty much across the board with most people. The Amish aren't like that, you know. And if you don't know them, you ought to know. You spend more time with them. Shop around if they're in your area. Get to know them better. They're weird because they're different and you don't understand. Once you understand, you realize how absolutely beautiful the idea is, the community is at large, despite their problems they have personally. The community is very, very different. If an Amish guy gets hurt on the field, injured, ends up having to go to a hospital, he's also burdened with the American hospital bills like the rest of us. The Amish community right away will pull together and come up with the money to pay for that man's injuries and hospital bills. They'll throw an auction if they have to. It doesn't matter who you are in the Amish community. You get injured, you get hurt, the community, the town will come together, of the Amish will come together, and they will get you up and pick you up and put you back where you were. Together they will do that. No Amish man will be left standing, or Amish woman. If you're a woman and you have some serious labor issues, you end up in a hospital and you end up with $50,000 in hospital bills for you and your child, that Amish community will throw a benefit auction the next week for you, and the next week after that for you. They will sell everything they have at an auction to try to raise the money to help mom and her baby pay those bills and get back on her feet. And that's how they roll. And it's like that with everything with them. If your house burns down, if you're an Amish guy, you're a family, your house burns down, the community will come together and they will help you rebuild a house. Show me a town in America that does that. Show me an American community that will come together for each other like that, without question. Show me a single town in this country who, if somebody in your town ends up in a car accident or ends up in a bad situation on the streets and hurt and broken, show me where the town will come together on their own and go fund me and help raise the money to help this person out. Ain't gonna happen. Doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Not in small towns, not in big towns. We don't come together as a community, as Americans, at all. We don't. We leave it to some government agency to come in and help, and all they do is, well, yeah, we can go down that rabbit hole another day. But they don't help. Government doesn't help. They take our money. So, I'm able to compare the American family with the Amish family, and I see a big difference. Big difference. And although the Amish aren't perfect, when you really look at it, they live a very good life. They run their own businesses. They are self-sufficient and independent. If the grid went down and the power went off, grocery stores went empty, the only communities that would survive and make it and thrive, in my opinion, are the Amish, Quakers, Mennonites, wherever you are. But for me, it's the Amish. They're the ones who would be able to get by the most. They have the skills. They have the hunting skills. They have the skills to build. They have the skills to take what they got and use it and work with it. They have the skills to grow food and raise livestock. They've been doing it. They continue to do it. Um, they've maintained values, family values, and traditional skills that the traditional American family has all but lost. Um, so when I shit on my family for lack of support, I'm shitting on America. I'm shitting on American families. I'm shitting on our way of life as an American for failing in society, failing as a community, failing to help each other, failing to support one another with our dreams. You know, young Amish guy, I get to know these people because I work with them a lot, building my house. I bought all my stuff, my materials from them. I've driven them around a little bit to help them out because they can't drive. So I do some driving for a lot of the guys. I've gotten to know a lot of the people in town, the community pretty well, a lot of them, on a personal basis. One of their young boys, 20-year-old young man, hard-working young boy, very sharp young boy, very skilled hunter, very skilled builder. Wanted to start his own business installing septic systems, for the local residents in town. But he had to be certified through the state and the government, so there were hoops he had to jump through. Fascinating the support he got through his community and through his family. Just go do this. What do you need? Here's a tractor. Here's a trailer. You want to get started on a job? Here's all the tools you need. Boy, they came together. That local community came together to let this young man do what he wanted to do. Because anybody else knows if you're starting from scratch and you got to buy your own work truck and you got to buy your own tractor and you got to buy your own tools, you need $50,000 to start a fucking business. I don't care what it is. So this young kid with this idea and this dream, who went through the education and certification on his own, paid for all that, now needed the equipment. I need a trailer. I need a truck to haul the trailer, to haul a tractor. I need big things to haul big equipment to these job sites to do these jobs. Before he even asked for it, the community had pulled it all together, and boom, here's a small tractor for you to get started with. Here's a trailer you can put the tractor on. Oh, and we've got a driver lined up with a pickup truck who can bring you to work every day and haul your equipment around for you. This kid was set to go start making money. Just like that. And that's a beautiful thing. And, I look around at traditional American family. I mean, it's not like that. The communities aren't like that. We just don't come together like that anymore. And it's very obvious once you look outside and compare ourselves to the way other people do it. And as Americans, that's hard to do because we don't know. We don't know any other way of life other than our own here. This very structured, very materialistic, very chasing of dreams, chasing things you may never catch your entire life. I chase dreams. I could spend the next 40 years of my life chasing those dreams and never achieve those dreams. Or I can stop chasing a dream, stop and think about what it is I actually want in my life and do it. And here I am doing it. I'm off grid for reasons I can go deeper into. The family and society, that's something I want to get into. I love my family. I love you all. I shit on my family a lot, but not because I don't love them. Thank them for everything. They raised me to be a good person. And it's not that they weren't supportive, but it was more, it's really be better off this way or that. They were just advising me the way they were advised. And I think a lot of us are. So, it's, I guess my point here is don't beat yourself up. Don't beat your families up too much. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want. Because it's your families that matter. At the end of the day, it's your family. If you ain't got family, you're fucked. If you don't have family and you end up homeless, you're fucked because nobody else is going to give a fuck about you. Just get that homeless guy off the street is all they care about. Where you go, what happens to you after that? Nobody cares. They don't ask. Family. Without family, you got shit. And the Amish have proven that to me. And I do live in an area that's heavily popular with a lot of Hispanic and Mexican people. And I will say the very traditional kind of Hispanic and Mexican families, they still, to some degree, maintain that family structure, although they are largely separated too. But they do hold a little more tradition and and family. They seem a little closer together, despite all odds. At the end of the day, they support each other overall. Um, so I will say there are traditions that still exist, but Americans in general, we don't have tradition anymore. We don't have culture. We don't have community. And it's obvious. And that's what sucks. Growing up as a middle-aged man now, looking back, um, I think a lot of us would be much better off in life if we lived that way, where as community, as friends, as peers, we all just helped each other. It wouldn't cost us anything if we helped each other. It's trade and barter. That's how that works. Let us do this for you, and then you can do better. And then you and us can help the next person. It's a beautiful idea, concept, and it works. I've seen it in the Amish communities. Um, it's just a shame America doesn't do that anymore. So I guess my shout out to everybody is, despite your family situation, your close circle in society, in community, um, it's all you got. It's all you got. Now that I'm thousands of miles away from anyone in my family and decades apart from any real relationship with any of them, I don't know many of them on a personal basis very well anymore. Love them all, but hey, it's just that's time and distance. My friends I grew up with, don't talk to any of them. Well, one of them, a couple of them I do, but I think a lot of us are the same way. We're so distant from everything we grew up with, everything that everything that created who we are, our surroundings, our environment, we're far removed from now. And I think many of us are wandering around like, where the fuck am I? Where do I fit in, right? Where do I go now, right? We're lost. We're lost souls on a world run by Satan. The satanic worshiping pedophiles run this place. They want us lost. They want us wandering around like lost souls. And well, I think we are a nation of lost souls now, wandering around chasing things that aren't even our dreams. I mean, I don't think many adults really grew up dreaming about doing what they're doing for a living right now. I certainly didn't. Not that I don't enjoy what I do, but certainly wasn't my lifelong dream, as is with a lot of people, I think, today. And I think that's reality a lot of people are going to start facing in their middle age. It's like, okay, now what? Now that everything is bullshit and everything's a lie, and I don't trust anybody to do for me in 20 years what they're saying they're going to do for me now what do you do? So alarms should be going off for a lot of you in your middle age now. Start planning your future now, because you probably don't have one. I don't. I'm just trying to live my life in the moment right now, and do what I have to do. And hopefully the answers come to me in time, or the experience and the abilities. If I can get myself to Amish level off-grid living, I'll be much better off. But I'm far from that level of expertise at this. But every day and every year it gets better. I will do another homestead video of my farm, my garden soon, and show you all what's going on. A little longer than I was hoping for today, but I wanted to get this off my chest, and maybe this takes us in a little more positive direction, because my first video was a little doom and gloom. I'm still very much in the dark, but I see the light. So we're going to kind of keep pushing through the dark to get closer to that light. And that's what this is all about. Just rambling on, scatterbrained. I'm gonna cut this short here soon. Cut this off here soon, short, and do some more dabs and finish my coffee, and then hit the wilderness here. Get some work done and show you an update. So thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Long-winded, but hopefully you can relate to some of the things I'm saying. And to my family, I love y'all. Hope you weren't turned off by the first video. I know y'all meant well. Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody does. I think Americans in general really truly mean well, but we're so far from reality and the truth that we're just doing the wrong things with good intentions. The road to hell is often paved with good intentions. I think Americans have really good intentions while we're paving our road to hell. So let's recognize what we're doing wrong and try to fix that so future generations will learn the importance of that family and that bonding of community at a close local level, and how important that really is for independence and freedom in America, because we're losing independence and freedom. My next chat might go deeper into that. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the support. Like, share, comment if you have anything to say, good or bad. And hey, let's get things off our chest together. Let's use this as kind of a rehabilitation program. Thank you guys. Peace, love, and God bless.